write fiction, nonfiction, and poetry.
Yes.
I'm just curious if there's one of those that you prefer.
Well, I made a living writing, you're saying nonfiction journalism.
Yeah.
And I loved it, like a lot of people with a lot of careers, I loved it wildly at the beginning. It could be pouring in, say, send me out to cover a protest, and I'd take my pad and I'd write it and come back to the typewriter and write a story on deadline. I loved doing it. After one point, and other things in my life became more important, it was like, okay, I've done this already, I know I can do it. I go back and forth between feeling songs with poetry. I say, oh, this is my voice, and short stories. We're just discussing this with somebody that might be the thing. But a novel is like, there's a saying, a novel is like a marriage. A short story is like a brief but intense affair, and a poem is like a one-night stand. No, I've written all three. I probably had all three, I guess. There's a lot of truth to that, because a novel, you have to work on it when you don't feel like working on it. It might be ultimately the most satisfying to read, because it takes days or if not weeks to do it. But a great short story is wonderful. I like that also. It's I don't know which is, I go back and forth, and sometimes when I start doubting myself, I start second guessing myself, I think maybe I should have just devoted myself to one of those mediums, or I shouldn't have even had a job. I just sort of get an adjunct professor. What?
Living in a loft by yourself.
She's heard this, right? She's heard this, yes. But, so that's, yeah.
Just a follow-up to this question. Can you say anything about what you tend to feel like when you decide to write a poem?
A poem, not other things.
No,
It's very exciting. In some ways, like I'm working on another novel in my head. I wrote a first novel that was never published, and that scholars would probably refer to his at times brilliant but deeply flawed first novel. Because I made all of the mistakes there, and I have it. It's 500 pages. It's a real novel, but I've thought of revisiting it with the clarity of time and the insights of experience. And there is that just planning, mapping it out. And I will not, I would never talk about what it's going to be. I consider that so indulgent to talk about what you're going to write. Tempting, but so indulgent. But it really gets my juices flowing in a way like nothing else. Right. Those moments you realize, oh, so he'll be a psychiatrist, but then he gave up the practice and now does this, and his wife. When all the pieces start to come together. And then your unconscious gets going, and you go somewhere like this, and suddenly you overhear somebody says something, that's like becomes dialogue for somewhere. It all has a way of falling in when the mind somehow is opened up like that. That's very exciting. It's very exciting, and to use the current expression, that doesn't get old. It's current.
Now it's your day job.